It's a whole week, of conversation around politics, policies, leadership, governance, everything that affects us. There has to be the situation. Yes, it could be around the economy, it could be around the world of sports, just about everything you need to know. But oftentimes, we'll always focus on politics or current affairs as such, not necessarily because there are no other things to talk about. But again, you'd always know, even if you're not interested in politics, one way or the other, politics is interested in you. Even if you're not interested in governance, one way or the other, governance is interested in you. Because when it happens, it does not respect your political affiliation, neither does it respect your religious sentiment or whatever it is that you hold there. It affects everybody. The economic situation, unfortunately, it seems the last 1 year has just been a season of trial and error, trying to put one thing in to see if it works, trying to put something else in to see if it works. I mean, as against what we had towards the end of the administration of our former president, Goodluck Jonathan, when the Nigerian economy was rated as one of the fastest growing economy in Africa. The GDP was a bit consistent in between. But look at what we've had in the last maybe 9 years. I mean, you'd expect us to get better, more so that we have a change of party, change of governance. But I will just continue to put paper over cracks sometimes on certain policies of the government. I mean, look at where we are right now in the era of, of petrol. We read this morning that the landing cost per liter is over 1,000 naira. So how much are we going to buy it if the government is truly not subsidizing? Are we back to the era of subsidy? Maybe the coordinating minister of the economy and the minister of finance should come talk to Nigerians about it. Why are we buying petrol at these amounts? 770 naira. That was how much I bought a liter yesterday evening. It's disturbing. Not necessarily because we don't have these resources, but because we don't have the people that are intentional about fixing the problems. So there was a time we didn't have refineries, but we had crude. So we're importing refined products. Now we have refineries, but we're importing crude into the country. I mean, Nigeria is just a whole lot of, contradiction on its own. Because how can you explain this? We had refinery in Port Harcourt, in Warri, in Kaduna. They were not functional, so we're importing refined products into the country. Now we have the Tğğᴇ refinery that talks that Tğğᴇ refinery is importing crude from the United States. So when we don't have a refinery, we're importing crude. We're exporting crude and importing refined products. Now that we have a refinery, now we are importing crude. How do you even explain all of these contradictions? Well, Mr. Muyiwa ADEYEMI joins me on the show today. He's the head of political desk of Guardian newspaper. He joins me every Thursday, but he's not going to be with us in the studio today. He's going to be joining us via phone. And I will look at a couple of issues, basically about the state of the nation. We're going to start with the old rancor within the APC. Well, I'm sure you read yesterday afternoon that Senator Alin Dume has been removed as the chief whip of the House. So, earlier today, there was also some committee reshuffle on the floor of the Senate, and Senator Alin Dume was redeployed to the Senate Committee on Tourism. It's just a whole lot of stuff. We'll also look at the issue of market regulations. I've always been of the opinion, and a whole lot of economists, share the same sentiment, that it is difficult for a government to regulate prices, especially in the areas where they are not subsidizing. So it goes this way. I go into the farms or to the market to buy a basket of tomatoes, for instance, and I'm buying the basket of tomatoes for maybe 10,000 naira, and I want to resell. I'm definitely not going to resell at 10,000, and the government cannot come and tell me how much I will sell that basket of tomatoes, because I didn't go to the government farm to buy. The government did not give me seedlings or give me monies or fertilizers to plant my tomatoes. I did all of the troubles myself. However, there are forces that are also, in a way, influencing the cost of commodities in the market. The market association, the pepper sellers, the charcoal seller, the rice sellers, the bean sellers. These are people, I want to call them non-state actors, that are dictating price of commodities in the market. I'm sure you saw a video that had trended We'll probably play it on the show at some point, where the town crier from Ife went to the main market in Ile-Ife and announced that on the authority of the Oni of Ife, that nobody in the market should belong to members of any association. That means they dissolve all of the associations in the market. And he also gave an instruction that henceforth nobody should sell a bowl of tomatoes for 500. It should be 200 and 100. Whoever wants to buy 500 can buy 200, 2 and 101. That was just the explanation. And there was a caveat. He said anyone that goes back to join any association, they would face the consequences of such. So you have times where I want to sell in the market. I'm maybe by conscience or one way or the other, I feel like I could sell these commodities cheaper. But the association comes to me. There was a viral video yesterday that, the market women went to attack a woman that was selling a bowl of gari cheaper than the other people in the market. And they kept attacking her. They were seizing her goods. And she said, hey, I can afford to sell these at this cheap price. The question should be, ask me where I'm buying my own. So it's always a cliche within the country that, when price of commodities go up, they don't exactly come down. So I was following Mr. WG %SOᴜnSAᴘᴜ of the very famous WG %SOᴜnSAᴘᴜ on national TV, and he was doing a report on potato value chain in Jos. So he said about 4 months ago, a bag of Irish potato was about 160,000. You'd understand that was not the harvest period, that was the planting period. But now this is the harvest season in Jos, and it says the same bag that was sold for 160,000 is now about 44,000. But they would always tell you that, whatever goes up in the country does not come down. So we're going to talk about that issue again today. How can the government come into this? There are people that, when the price of commodities were up, basket of tomatoes 150,000 at some point. But we all knew that those were rush period. Now the price of tomatoes are coming down. But the question is this: the people that were selling at 1,000 for 5 bulbs of onions, now that the price of onions had come down, are they ready to go back to the old price, or they want to maintain the status quo? And sometimes it is the association that usually aid this status quo being maintained. A lot of these people want to say, you know what, I know that times are tough, the people are really struggling, I can afford to sell these commodities at a cheaper price. But the association will say no, there has to be a uniform price, and most times the uniformity in this price is always on the high side. That would always affect the consumers. Mr. MUYIWA, good evening, and good to have you join us on the show today.
Good evening, OPEYEMI, and I'm sure our listeners are also doing good.
Yeah, we're all doing good. Thank you for joining us. I had to pull you out on a very, very important engagement, so we appreciate you once again.
Thank you very much.
So let's get straight up into the conversation. The last 24 hours had witnessed some form of drama within the ruling APC. The national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, the immediate past governor of Kano State, Alhaji Ganduje, wrote a petition to the Senate accusing the former chief whip of the Senate, Senator Alin Dume, of making statements that could incite the country. So the president of the Nigerian Senate, the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, read the letter on the floor of the House, and unanimously, as the years would always have it, Senator Alin Dume was removed as the chief whip of the House. In fact, it was suggested that if he cared enough, he could leave the APC and join the opposition. Early today, there were some committee reshuffle on the floor of the House, and further, Senator Alin Dume was further removed from his committee and redeployed to this House Committee on Tourism. Mr. MUYIWA, a lot of APC senators are speaking against this. Some are speaking in support of this. We've seen a lot of times where Senator Alin Dume had come out and said that Nigerians are suffering. Very recently, he talked about the fact that the president has been fenced off, that leaders of parties don't have access to the president anymore. What exactly do you make of all of these? Are these cracks within the APC, or is another abuse on free speech? Talk to us about that.
Well, I think let's look at it from both sides. I think of the coin, because when we are here to analyze issues, and not my opinion, but occasionally I can just inject my opinion. I haven't laid there the cards on the table. First and foremost, the APC, I don't think it's right with that decision. I think to have written the National Assembly Senate, I think to ask for the removal of Ndume as the chief whip and nominating Monguno as to replace him. Because if we were all here, it wasn't APC that recommended Ndume for the chief whip. It wasn't APC that recommended Akpabio for the Senate. We're not up to the parliament. It wasn't it wasn't Ganduje. I think that recommended the principal officers or APC principal officers in the Senate. No, it wasn't Ganduje or the party. It was a decision unilaterally taken on the floor of the House by their colleagues. So if he had no hand, the party had no hand in his appointment as a principal officer of the House, I see why they have to come to the House and start tabling that the party asked him to resign, suggesting another replacement. To me, I've not seen that in any books we have read about democracy in the presidential system of government. That never happens. That the party can play some role underneath. The party can suggest. I think the government has been formed. And when government has been formed, the position of the party is more advisory in the open. Yes, no, there were meetings before meetings. So whatever might be the position of the party, will have done behind the scene, not writing, I think, to the floor saying this. Because if you didn't know, if the party did not nominate me for chief whip, party cannot ask for my removal. So Duje was made the chief whip of the House based on the political arrangement for the principal officers, which to go to the ruling party, which to go to the opposition. So I think that's how the Ndume became, I think, the chief whip. I won't say that. We are not scoring any good points, either for the National Assembly or for the presidency with this singular act, first and foremost. If you are saying that Ndume says something you are not happy with, but let me be clear with you, all the statistics, all the data, all indices, even what you can see, what I can see, you can see, what I can see, I think we're obviously in support of what Ndume said. So if you look at statistics of, I think, inflation in the last 1 year, will you say Nigerians are happy? If you look at the prices of commodities, I don't know whether it's imported or the locally produced, even to the gari, to tomato, to pepper, to potato you are talking, to anything, even beans. Beans now a 2,000. I think per this thing of the Rika, you sell it. That's something that we selling less than 100, 200 before. 2,000. You understand? So there is nothing. There's no everything we buy. I mean, that does not support what Ndume said. So Ndume now stated the obvious fact, right? Against how the executive presidency is handling the matter. He did not say anything against the National Assembly. You can't compare his case with that of the other gentleman that was a senator that was suspended for criticizing the budget, right? He didn't criticize his colleagues, right? He didn't. So with that suspension, with that sack, punishment, they take out to do it. So in Akpabio-led Senate is simply just telling Nigerians that the Senate has become an appendage
of the
on the
executive.
office of Mr. President. I think which he himself as a lawyer and a former governor should be ashamed of. Adeyemi Idume said something against the Senate or against the institution he belongs to, which is National Assembly. Yes, you can say, well, how we going to do that against us? But for criticizing the executive, haven't we seen many people on the floor of the house saying worse things than what Idume said? So on the floor of the house, many people have condemned what is going on. Many people have criticized the government. Many people have spoken against how Nigerians find it extremely difficult to feed. Many people have spoken against how it has become unbearable for businesses to thrive. Many people have spoken against how insecurity has sent farmers out of their farms, causing the crisis of food insecurity we are currently facing. So what did he say that others have not said? I don't know. And if the man other day said, well, I think if that they are finding it difficult to meet with Mr. President, then what the not belong to the party, is no longer in the caucus as chief whip of the house. He worked for Mr. President, Mr. Tinubu, to become the president.
True.
So yes, to emerge, he worked for his party and he delivered his own constituency for the party. So if he starts saying that the senator and the chief whip, he seems Mr. President is being fenced out, at least to know the reality. Mr. President himself has blamed Jonathan for that. Mr. President blamed Jonathan for that himself, Mr. Tinubu himself. That I think they have been sent out to understand the reality. But if somebody closer to you that ought to know is that you are alleging that one, what's supposed to do? You take it to go and meet the president. Were they not friends? When they meet him before? Were they party members? Take it to go and meet him. If you say don't meet me, come and meet me. I'm human being. I remain your friend. Say what you want to say and I will explain myself. How would that solve the matter? The ranking senator, Junior has been in the Senate, and for almost 16 or 12 years. He's
been in the Senate since 2011.
So, 2011. So, if it's alleging that one, what's the big deal? Okay? What's the big deal for the protocol from where is your man, is your party man, is your whatever? Yeah, come and meet him. And they arrange for him, even only 30 minutes. Let him express his mind. And after that one, he will explain to him what they are doing. And he will ask also what will you do as a party member. Want to solve this problem. You are also a leader. You understand? Then some of them will discuss, and the man will go. Because by now, I think what they are giving, the impression they are giving the people is that this government is intolerant of criticism. And it's not even if you can do this to your party member, how much more the people in the PDP and Labour should expect. You understand? So I'm saying that they did not score any good point, whether for the presidency or for the National Assembly, or on this their singular despicable act. This is democracy. Well, the man may not be the same caucus now with the president, but he's still a member of your party, and you will have seen him to do anything that anti-party, for you to tell him that you don't want him in that party again. You want him to go and join another opposition. Is it democracy that you want to lose members? A whole senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, right? So I think I don't know if the Ganduje is doing that. I think maybe to get attention of the president, one, to get Bayero remain the Iṛsᴜnsoዄ, the wrong strategy. If Ganduje also is doing this now to invent, I think a prosecution from Kano State government that's dragging him to court, dragging to EFCC, I think again the very strong strategy. If Mr. Ganduje did this one, perhaps I think if you look at his rating in the party, he has come drastically low. But if he has done that, maybe to boost, I think, his popularity among members of APC, no, it's counterproductive. So I'm saying, with all the responsibility, this is democracy. So, but you can say people cannot be known to all Nigerians. Look at the statistics released by the National Bureau of Statistics. Even with this one now, so would the government agencies be truthful in coming out with reliable data again? So I think that's what was be careful. What they've done sent a very wrong signal. I think that way so maybe not to send that, and they came out to the public to I think did the shit. Yes, let me tell you something. It's just unfortunate that the Nigerians, our leaders always try to surround themselves with psychopaths. People that will tell you, Rankadede, you are the best thing that's ever happened to this country. Those hypocrites. Then letting you know the truth about your governance and governance. Your best fears. After several years of Babangida, when others be telling me all this way, they tell right, whenever you say something, you will go and look for the paper to read it himself. So you want just to read all the papers, how they reported JᴏɪR matter. And somebody now just don't listen to call James.
Why can't I
that he was getting the truth from Tᴜɪᴛᴛᴇʀ. Since if some writers, low ranking writers, reporters who are writing, they may not take it seriously. Maybe this is how journalists behave, right? He was not too far from it. It's not too far from them. But if a senator is at where they will start begging for the food, he saw how Nigerians at this moment, how much it costs now that you consume 3 weeks in your house. You understand? And the people also yet.
Before we leave Senator Ndumi, what Senate actually from the Senate suggested or investigated and Tinubu populated by Ndumi party, you're in the high rankings from
your own you slap pain and ensure that I think how we are talking executive as a recall and the public constituency. The Federal Republic taking paracetamol and taking injection
for the executive
headache. You understand? So is for any analyst collective responsibility. He advises, he has his battle. Let the executive fight their battle while in Senate, I think fighting a battle that does not concern them at this level. The Akpabio should be careful. I think the way he's running that step. He should know he can be loyal to the president. No problem with that. They are from the same party. I think he can be good to Mr. President. No problem. But you know that it's ending an institution. And when you head an institution, I think you should be careful. Because we're talking of this democracy, we're talking of executive, legislature, and judiciary. And the heads of those three arms at least must understand what they call institution. And each time we institution, and they are the ones that making the institution weak and weaker by the day. I think for me, I think I did not see any merit. If nobody responded in economy, because the president are doing that and is a cool. I'm not saying Ndumi is not having some political agenda on it. Yes, you understand? It's allowed in politics, right? But you don't escalate it. Now people are now investigating. If Ndumi has joined in the Kaduna mafia warfare, right? You understand? Is Ndumi now part of El-Rufai's strategy? You understand? Which already fighting at least I think already
a cold war within the APC.
Yes, yes. So you know the effort and their campaign was that Tinubu should spend 8 years in government. So by the time the next person from north will come, they must have south must have spent 12 years ahead of north. So if somebody's come that strategy is that let Tinubu spend a year, let's make a calculation to drink as a government. You do everything to down the political opponents, whether within or outside, any good work for opposition. There's the intolerance of insult to any democratic government, to the DMA. They had a fear in that region. You cannot imagine. I think let's go share their PVC. You understand? If half of them have voted they were going to record more votes. 60% of people that collected. I'm not talking about people that are registered, right? I'm not talking of the population. I'm talking of people that collect 32% of people who have their PVC with them just to go and vote. So now talk less of where the whole vote of Kano State will almost subsume the vote of the South of the Southeast. So that's the problem we are facing. Yeah, but Tinubu must know how to play his game. He must know how to play his game. It's too early. Politics have not started. Even if some people are dragging you to come out and play politics, but you know that you have created a problem that you cannot go into politics with it. Tinubu or APC cannot go into any election without seeing through these their policies. If there are any benefits or fruits that these policies will bring, they must make sure they concentrate fully on it. Let there be fruits or benefits of these policies before you can be talking of politics. These policies are still crucial. I want to admit that when you are cultivating land, you are making ridges, this will be difficult. But when you start harvesting, well, I think things will become a bit better.
Easy.
So, if there is anything to be harvested, and from these policies, continue to water these policies first. So let there be things to see. Let tension cool down. Let Nigerians begin to live a normal life before you go into politics. Unless if they drag them into politics and they wittingly or unwittingly got themselves enmeshed in it, it's going to be disastrous for them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muyiwa. Well, we had an agreement of 60 minutes for your session. I would have loved to still stay on this conversation, but there's a breaking news, and the breaking news is about the minimum wage. There are reports that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved.
Okoyemi, if you are going to check your tax record,
immediately I saw the story. That was the first thing I said. You said it cannot go beyond 70,000. I remember the conversation. You said the maximum.
Yes. I think the maximum they can get with all the things we have. I think they try very well, more than what anybody can ever think about. Maybe they can reach 75. That if they do more than what is normal for any labor union to do, they might reach 75. But I don't see them going beyond 70. If you can go to our previous whatever, I think about 3 weeks or 1 month ago, you said it. So it was not a surprise to me. So when they say they agreed on 70,000, because these people have been calculating on 70,000, and some companies are already projecting on that. So people are already be on a drawing board since about 2 days ago that we reach 70,000. What do we do? How do we adjust? What can we accommodate? So I think, by and large, I find that they should appreciate the labor union to have come this far. Might not be enough, as many people will say, but they should remember that when I'm talking of minimum wage for a country, in our own language, I've said it in this gathering, and sorry, in this on this platform, that what we are negotiating ought to be wage, which we are taking for salary, right? So because wages not the same thing as salary. I think I said it clearly here in one of our previous conversations. But I don't want to go into that definition again. But within our context of our discussion and of Nigerian labor, whatever now, getting this 70,000, meaning that if you employ anybody in your company, you're not expected to pay less than 70,000. Any organized labor, right? And in the labor law defines the companies maybe employ more than 20 or 25 or thereabouts. Those are the people recognized as such. you cannot pay less than 70,000 a day, right? So companies will be affected, industry will be affected, not only government. So if you do what companies cannot afford, certainly you know the implication. You want to throw many people out of job, so people might not look this way, but if you are in a company, we are in a company, we run a company where I work, I know how much even to cope with power. I know how much is being spent on gas. I know how much is being spent on this, and I know how much is being spent on this to fix electricity bills. So by the time you combine those together in a month, and with the position power that's reducing. So for Labour to have been able to reach that 70,000 is something at least they can start up. But I did hear Mr. President initially said that why must it be every 5 or 7 years? That question, he said, in one of the previous conversation, that it can be 2 years, why not, right? But what I would have loved them to do if I were in the team is that fine, 2 things. But whatever we achieve now must be indexed to inflation. So we index it to inflation. We are giving just 70% now. We take just up as zero in the month of May when it started. So if by December all statistics shows that inflation has risen by 20% or by more, I think it's about 33% now, if I'm not mistaken. But if they're not telling you as left 3 to 40%, you don't have to negotiate. You understand? Before you add 5% to the minimum wage, right? So that was what I would have expected them, and that's what some smart labor union do in some countries now. So you don't have to, even when you come down to review every 5, 6, or 7 years, but index it to the inflation. So as inflation keep on rising, you understand? Your salary keep on rising with it. So that at every point in time, I think somebody on minimum wage can buy a quarter of a rice, no matter the amount. Somebody in that category also can buy 2 or 3 acres of beans, no matter what the inflation. But when any amount you receive now, in the next 3-4 months, if inflation has taken over, you understand?
He's almost going to go back to what the value of 30,000 was.
So that is so. I think I started to do that. I have not read the full, at least details, but I've read. I think the breaking news of these 70,000 they have agreed. So I think we are not expecting there doesn't a surprise. I think to us on this program and for people that have been following us because we have discussed it. So it's like we saw tomorrow, but it's not that yes we didn't see tomorrow. But we're able to use our analytical tools and what's happening, I think, to try and make a projection of what is feasible and what is not feasible. And we realize, and we said it here, that even the government wanted to do less for a PDP control state in Edo State, Obaseki. Yes, so I've started 70,000. I think if they cannot catch up with him, they might not do lesser
than he has done.
So I think than he has done. So I think we are right with our analysis on that.
Mr. Muyiwa, in 3 minutes, so that we'll take our first break and then I'll have to let you go. From the old 695,000 to 482,000 to 250,000, now to 70,000. What the leadership of NLC said is that, let me quote the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Comrade Joe Ajero. He said, and I quote, the reason why we accepted this offer is because the president has promised a review every 3 years as against what was obtained in the past. He also said that this was agreed because of the other incentives attached with the new minimum wage. In 3 minutes, Mr. Muyiwa, how much of a win in court is this for the Nigerian labor force?
I think it's like you can't say a win or whatever, but it's a fair deal. For me, you understand, I think if they will not wait for the next 5 or 7 years for a review, right? If they agree on 3 years, I think it's something, at least in line with what I said, that you don't have to wait for too long, at least for another review. So I think, to me, I think it's still a fair deal, right? But before we go, I must say a word about that of Ooni of Ife. I mean, talking about price of the problem is that, for the monarch, with respect to his office, right? He's only playing to the gallery. Do you understand? I would have loved to hear him, do you understand, asking people to go back to farm, do you understand, and plant these things to regulate the price, right? If people like other Yorubas are waiting for Hausas to bring tomato and whatever from north with the cost of transportation to their base, and for them now to say they are regulating the price. You cannot regulate the price what is going to produce. You cannot do that, and that is the basic truth. So if it's your product, you can regulate it. But what you cannot produce, so if the cannot regulate the price of diesel that we will take, do you know from Bauchi, yes, we did the report recently, from Bauchi to Lagos, it takes now almost 2 million for a trailer load
of tomatoes.
Of goods to pay. To pay. So if Oni cannot regulate that one, you understand? If Oni cannot regulate, I think how other industries that brought, and this is a perishable commodities that nobody can keep for too long. But I would have loved him to plead to Yorubas, not only people, that they should go back to farm. We have land. I mean, you don't need fertilizer to cultivate this pepper, right? And as some people will say, if people are not that good into farming, yes, because there are many Yorubas as the folklore, proverbs, and saying, when they describe the people, when it comes to farming, they are not the best in it. So he would have urged them, at least to go back to farm, not to wait for somebody to bring tomato and pepper for them. So what you don't produce, for you to be regulating on how to sell it, I can't understand what that means, right? So this thing will come down, whether we like it, because they are perishable items. And this is the time now they will start harvesting. So between now and July ending, we begin to see, I think, more of the prices of pepper, only pepper I can say, coming because they are perishable items. You can't keep pepper for 6-7 days. You dare not do that. So because I think you are going to waste your money. So you don't have the silos or something to preserve it in Nigeria. So they must sell it as those things that are getting right. Do you understand the farm?
They are getting damaged.
And sell, yes, and sell as soon as possible. But what we have blocked for years from money, with due respect to some, is that let him encourage Yoruba to go back to the farm. It's shameful for the Yorubas with our land and how fertile they are. I think we have, the Yoruba people have the most fertile land, I think, in this country. You don't need chemical. You don't need fertilizer to grow anything. So if we cannot be producing this, but we want to start it down and using a royal office
authority
to control the price of what we don't produce, I don't know how that works. So please, if there is anybody hearing us from it, I should help us convey a message to our revered traditional ruler that we should encourage all the governors, Yoruba, all the Yorubas, wherever they are, that I think when Awolowo was building Cocoa House, when Awolowo made the Western region the model, better than many European countries, better than all these Asian China people are running and following down. Do you understand? He didn't use oil money. I think it's what the produce from our soil that made the Western region the best in Africa. Do you understand?
Thank you, Mr. Wiwa. I have to let you go because we have to take deadline news in a few seconds. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll come back in a few minutes rather to continue the program.
Mainland 98.3 FM, your number one radio. Reaching stars, the sound of Lagos.
Headline News on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good evening. Headline News on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Omobola Sandra. President Tinubu approves 70,000 Naira minimum wage for workers. Federal government directs JAMB to enforce 18 years as minimum entry age into tertiary institutions. Appeal court dismissed Silva's petition, upholds Diri's tribunal victory. PDP governors welcome verdict on local government autonomy, call for caution in implementation. Reps to donate 50% of salaries to fight hunger. And a foreign team, Ursula von der Leyen, re-elected as European Commission President. Biden faces new pressure from top Democrats over candidacy. In sports, Liverpool could lose £70 million rated star to Real Madrid as Galactico era continues. And that's the headline news on Mainland FM. Details at 5:30.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's now why anytime I they cook like this, I they always season them with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatasheo, shombo, onions. No one know they put. Now he make my pikin them, they always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You
Sama all your food with correct vegetables. Come season them with no cubes for that to get delicious taste. Today, chop better.
Spot that smartphone you've been eyeing? That one that seems just out of reach because of its hefty price tag? Hold up, MTN is got your back, bringing you an effortless way to snag your dream phone without emptying your pocket with Easy Buy. Choose any phone you fancy and conveniently spread the payment over 3 to 12 months. Keep your budget intact and your smartphone dreams. But wait, there's more. Not only do you get to enjoy budget-friendly payment option, but you also enjoy up to 10 gig free MTN data. Now, that's a steal. Don't watch your dream phone slip away. What are you waiting for? Visit the nearest mobile phone retail outlet. Look for the Easy Buy agent. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. What are you doing today?
Correct food, they always give me joy. That's now why anytime I they cook like this, I they always season them with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatasheo, shombo, onions. No one know they put. Now he make my pikin them, they always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You
Sama all your food with correct vegetables. Come season them with no cubes for that to get delicious taste. Today, chop better.
Fixing your damaged phone just feels like a lot of wahala and can be very expensive, right? But not anymore. MTN is here with a solution to help you protect your phones. Accident happens, so imagine this. Your phone falls into water, no wahala. Your screen cracks, no wahala. Your phone gets burned, no wahala. Why? Because accidental damages are also covered. Even if you're lazy like me and cannot cope with the stress of getting your phone fixed, your damaged phone will be picked up, fixed and dropped off, all while you chill at home. And the best part is, you also enjoy free MTN data when you purchase any device protection plan. Seriously, who doesn't love free data? You also enjoy free MTN data when you purchase any device protection plan. To enjoy your device with peace of mind, visit mtn.ng/device services to get your pocket-friendly device protection plan. MTN, outdo yourself. Attention everyone, this is an important message about cholera.
Cholera is a serious disease, but we can stop it together.
Remember to always drink clean, safe water. Boil or treat your water before drinking.
Wash your hands with soap and clean water, especially before eating and after using the toilet.
Cook your food thoroughly and eat it while it is hot.
Keep your surroundings clean and dispose of waste properly.
If you or anyone you know shows symptoms like severe diarrhea or vomiting, seek medical help immediately.
Together, we can beat cholera and keep our community healthy.
This message is brought to you by Mainland 98.3 FM, Lagos. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Yeah, I know what this is.
98.3 Mainland FM.
Things seems anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there is not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development, we have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
As elections give the citizens the chance to make their political decisions, constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us now, there is nothing, we are starving. Tinubu should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join OPEYEMI AKINYODE as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial. Mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you roommates as we discuss the situations.
Welcome back. Don't forget, by 5:30 the full bulletin would come through, and by 6 o'clock will come around for sports cruise. Well, the Super Eagles of Nigeria are dropped further down, one place from 38th to 39th in the just recently released FIFA ranking. We'll talk about all of that, and also the Super Falcons lost their final friendly game before their 25th of July opening game against Brazil at the Olympics yesterday to Canada. Canada actually the defending Olympic champions. We'll all talk about all of that by 6 o'clock, but by 5:30 the full bulletin will come through. We're back in the Situation Room, and I had a conversation with Mr. MUYIWA ADEYEMI, the head of political desk of Guardian newspaper, from 4 to 5 p.m. We talked about the removal of Senator Ali Ndume from Borno South Senatorial District as the chief whip of the Senate yesterday, and it was replaced by Senator Mungunu from the same states but from Borno North. Well, earlier today as well, the Senate also reviewed some of the standing committees on the floor of the House. And if you understand the operations of the Senate, you will know that there are committees that they call juicy committees that are reserved for ranking senators. Well, Senator Ali Ndume is also a ranking senator on the platform of how long he's been on the floor of the Senate and the roles he played in the emergence of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. However, he was redeployed from his previous committee to become the chairman House Senate Committee on Tourism. Interesting times, some politicking going on the floor of the Senate, but we'll keep our fingers crossed, and we'll certainly keep you updated about everything you need to know in that regard. Well, Mr. MUYIWA ADEYEMI also shared some thoughts in respect to the video where a messenger of the Ooni of Ife addressed some market women in Ile-Ife, instructing them that the prices of commodities must be open, also removing all forms of association or membership within the market in Ile-Ife. Well, Mr. Muyiwa Adeyemi felt like it's not exactly the best route to follow. However, the king should have addressed the governors in the southwest to encourage the people to go back to the farms. You cannot deny the fact that the region is blessed tremendously with land mass unending. So why can't we plant? If we cannot plant in Lagos because of water, why can't we plant in Ogun? Why can't we plant in Ekiti? Why can't we plant in Osun? Why can't we plant in Oyo State? That's the question. Why do we need to wait for traditional rulers to review products that were brought in from Gombe, from Katsina? It's time for you to join the conversation. I'm sure that somehow next week Thursday, Mr. Muyiwa Adeyemi and I will still have a way to come back to this conversation, because we didn't have enough time to finish the line of thoughts that we wanted to have today. But of course, you can complete that for us. 0913-600-0410, the calls on Facebook. I hope I'll be able to read all of your messages, but I will try. And also you can text us on 0913-600-0430. Just straight to the point when you call, so that we can accommodate a lot more calls. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome. Your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you very much, Mr. Alquest. This is Malam Bello now.
Okay, Malam Bello, straight to the point.
Thank you very much. You see, to be honest to ourselves in this country, the last time we have a democratic elected president of Nigeria is the era of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, when everybody, irrespective of gender, male and female, can speak their mind to the power. Now, Ali Ndume is a member of APC, right?
Yes.
If Ali Ndume can say the truth to the presidency, because people send him there and he represented his people there. Like somebody like me, I don't need Ali Ndume to tell me before I know what I'm passing through in this country today. And he represented people. He had to tell the president that the people that I represented, this is what they are passing through. Is that a crime? If Ali Ndume, as a member of APC, speak truth to the presidency and he has been removed from his position, tell me how if Labour or PDP say the same thing, are they not going to jail that senator as opposition party among them? That is number one. Then number two, honestly, this government continues to make one mistake upon mistake, but I am very happy that all this is happening between them. By the grace of God, 2027 is around the corner. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. 0913-600-0410 is the situation room, and we get to do these every Mondays to Fridays from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Hello, good evening, Mr. Tğğᴇ Joshua.
Good evening.
It's my pleasure to have you join us. Can you be more audible, please?
Yeah. Good evening.
Hello.
This is Tğğᴇ Joshua calling from the
Okay, I think it's better now. Go on.
All right. See, everyone, even an APC member like me, sometimes I criticize the government. You know, we have the right to criticize the government. Whether you are Labour Party, whether you are PDP, nobody will arrest you. This particular issue we're talking about is a party affair. You know, it's just unfortunate.
It's a family business.
It's a family matter. This is not. This thing even has nothing to do with President Tinubu. It was our national chairman and the secretary who signed on top of the letter. You understand me? So this is our party member criticizing and demarketing our party, and we have collectively decided to remove him from that particular post. This is the thing. If you have issue with Lady Sandra now,
I would appreciate if you can call back. I want to see where that analogy will take us to. 0913-600-0410. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, OPEYEMI.
You're welcome.
My name is Isaiah. I'm calling from Akoka.
Mr. Isaiah from Akoka. Good to have you today.
Thank you very much. I'm not in Mr. Tğğᴇ's mind, but let me try to extend the analogy he was trying to give you.
Please go on.
I think I did something similar on Facebook. Now, look at you in that studio. Imagine you having some grievances against the management of Mainland FM. Common sense dictates that you explore internal
mechanism.
Mediums. Yes. Now imagine you coming to the studio today to tell Nigerians, fellow Nigerians, here in mainland FM, blah, 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 is what has been happening. That is exactly what Ali Ndume has done. So, as Gege has said, this is an internal affair. It is a democracy. Labour Party, PDP, even a fellow APC member in court can criticize government. Nobody will arrest you or penalize you for criticizing government. 2027 is coming. If you don't like this government, you will not vote for them. It is democracy.
But can I quickly ask you a question?
Yes, please.
I understand the fact that the political parties are the platforms at which you achieve your political aims, especially in a situation where we don't have independent candidacy. However, political parties don't vote. The people vote. So whose loyalty are you supposed to prioritize? Your party or the people?
Okay. As a senator, your people who you represent are your number one priority.
Good.
Yes. But beyond that, do you agree with me that the constituents of Ali Ndume did not vote him as chief whip? Do you agree with me?
Sure.
Thank you. True. That is the reason why the party which gave him the platform to become chief whip has now removed him from chief whip, but can never remove him from being senator.
So that means he can still criticize the party as a senator, but he cannot as a chief whip. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yes.
I got to where I wanted it to be, because I feel like I understand the whole idea of principal officers on the floor of the house, the Senate president, the this and that, all of the politics that goes on. But if you were not elected in the first place, you cannot even be made the chief whip. So you need the people to get you into the position of you being made the chief whip. So it is the people. Democracy is not about the chief whip. It's not about the Senate president. Democracy is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. It's as simple as that. Let me have your thoughts. 0913-600-0410. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Mr. Ope.
Thank you.
My name is Eric. I'm calling right now from Akute.
Okay.
Hey, I was see master. See, Ope, me not speaking English. Me want to speak.
Anything that expresses your thoughts. Let's go.
Ope, make I tell you. A few days ago, the man that comes from Meta, was telling us that look, when what is it called, the now Minister of State, Minister of FCT, when he when he get rank on with the person we put as the governor, he came on air and he started jubilating, he started singing. See, APC never say anything. No. See, this one we just sing. This Mr. Ali Ndume, what is his name? This one he just talking. He just start. Keep anything. See, I know this.
Mr. Harry, you are out for banters today. I think tomorrow. I'm just going to address my guests for about 30 minutes thereabouts. I think we have a lot to just fraternize about tomorrow. Yes. Tomorrow is Friday. It's going to be the last edition of the show for the week. So I will just relax a little bit. We've had so much guests coming to pump us, with a lot of information. Tomorrow, we just relax a bit. I'm going to have 30 minutes with my guest. Then we'll open the conversation. I think we have a lot of things bottled in that I want to express. Mickey Wednesday, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Papa.
You're welcome.
How's everything?
Good. Straight to the point.
Yeah, but you are elected by Nigerians to represent us on mainland FM. So that's why you are a good reference for color. You see, this is what we were shouting when the president was speaking, the speaker of the house.
The Senate president.
The principal office. Yes. And we were saying, where will check and balances come from? They say, no, the president needs somebody who can work with him, who they can understand each other and work. We are seeing the understanding. We are seeing the dangerous dimension that these people are plugging Nigeria in. Now, as we speak of now, the check and balances in democracy, where is it as we speak? Now, a single individual in the party that decides, no, we cannot, this country belongs to all of us. Party is not the issue here. Let's tackle what is plaguing Nigeria at the moment, and he spoke out. Now it's an enemy. People are calling to tell you that it is right. That is where is the freedom of speech of that you are telling us in democracy that we can, that if it's military we cannot talk. Now you can see that even party members cannot talk. So when you criticize government or correct government that you are a member of the political party, then you become an opposition. You see the reference, they say you should go to Labour Party or other place. Meaning that it's only opposition that should speak anything contrary to what they are doing. Okay, are you telling me that look, okay, God will help us? Then coming to the Oba, I think he did well, but I think he should go a step further by also trying to speak to government. Because we keep talking about traders in the market, prices are going up. The same government took electricity tariff from 55 naira to 200 and some. How many percent? Okay. The same government took petroleum as we speak now. Why can't they regulate petroleum prices as we speak? Yes.
Tomorrow is Friday, and I guarantee you there's going to be free speech on the show tomorrow.
Okay.
I know a lot of us have so much bottled in that I want to talk about. Ufoma, you have 1 minute. I need to go on Facebook. We have loads of messages there.
Thank you. Number one.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry.
You know, looking at this, is it 10th assembly now? Okay. Number one, a senator was suspended because of budget padding. He was suspended and was removed from his position. Another person took over his position. And Louis Dume again said that there is sovereign in the land. He was removed again. OPEYEMI. Abajo, she walked his back.
Let's quickly set it out. Ufoma. The senator that was suspended from Bauchi was suspended and he has resumed on the floor of the Senate.
I know, yes.
And Senator Alim Dume was not removed as a senator, was only removed as the chief whip of the Senate.
Yes, so it means that people cannot say their mind. You say your mind, you lose your position. Akpabo, she walks his back. I will not blame every one of them, truly. Okay, bye.
Thank you very much. We have this conversation tomorrow. I'm excited. Let's go to Facebook 0913600410. Hang on, the callers. Let's quickly read some messages on Facebook. This one says internal or external affairs. Some of what the senator is complaining about has to do with what is happening to Nigerians. The question is it only APC that are hungry? Is it only APC that are facing insecurity? In the US, both the Democrats and Republicans have criticized bad policies. As the reign of hunger and suffering befalls everyone in Nigeria, it does not respect your party affiliation. That is from Sean Johnson on Facebook. Tᴜɪ̀ᴜnᴜ Mᴜɪ̈ᴜ is talking to us and he says, please, I want to ask that democracy we all fought for, has it now become a personal property belonging to property following the sanctions unleashed on Alim Dume? Finally, probably the governor is now aware. So I'm using the opportunity to inform Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu that the contractor handling the Ijegun-Ijagemo road has abandoned the project and is really affecting the community. Oluwafe on Facebook says, Alim Dume wants to use innocent Nigerians to settle whatever quarrel he has with the president. The same Ndume that collected SUV and 500 million constituency allowance as a ranking senator, and he did not reject the largesse on behalf of the masses in protest. Wow. I will not allow politicians use me to fight his own battle. Let Ndume carry his own cross. It is not saying anything new. Even Mr. President always admits in his speech that Nigerians are suffering. Alim Dume should stop whining Nigerians. That's Oluwafe. Thank you. More calls. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Mainland FM.
Good evening. How now?
I'm good. And you?
Well done. Very well. Fine. Thank you. Okay. Let me tell you something.
Your name? Your name?
My name is Manam Salau. The candidacy is not fair. It's not fair because this president daughter is Yaloja General of Southwest, and she has office in every market. And there is no anything that any price that will determine without her knowledge for her representative there. And she's making money from it. So, and she's certain about that. Why can't she develop anything about Yaloja or whatever? This is number one. Number two, for farming, okay, let me tell you, just like northern part of Nigeria, there is no way we can get you in the south in terms of Western education. We have gone far ahead of us. Also in the southwest here, or any south, it's very far from you to get us in terms of farming. You understand? Farming is culture for we. How many is this president? Is he a farmer? No. It's all your governors. Are they farming? Do they have farm that they farm? No. In your office where you are, there is no way in your own level in my place that it's not a farmer. From the CEO of your organization down to the cleaner. In my place, they're all farmers. You people are farmers? No. So farming has gone beyond a governor to encourage farming. No. The only thing a government will do for a farmer maybe to bring something in time of fertilizer or whatever. You understand? This is number one. Number two. Hello, sir.
I'm with you. Please wrap up your thoughts.
Okay. That is it.
Okay.
That is it. For Indume. To be honest with you, Indume may not come back in the next, if this democracy is about to 2027.
I kind of knew that was coming. I saw the message and I'm also going to read it. Prince YS, let me give you 1 minute, Prince YS. 1 minute. I need to read a lot of messages.
I don't know what I thought today, but I go talk. Because I'm in a very happy mood now. Ask me why now.
Please talk to me about it quickly.
Labour and federal government have already agreed. No more rancor. That's my happiness. I know the money is small. You are talking 100,000, but that 10,000, it's all right. I agree with them. That's number one. Number two, you see this student loan. I always because the children of the poor will be educated in this country. So if somebody can lend somebody money, the poorest of poor, but the students go to police, to university, and the college of okay by even though they graduate, they don't.
Thank you, Prince Boss. I need to let you go. Thank you. I need to let you go. Let me quickly read some messages. Ooh, all of them here. Nationwide protest scheduled for 1st to 10th of August 2024. Okay, let's keep that. This one says, you can see what happened to Ali Ndume. As a party loyalist, you cannot criticize the government. Considering the situation of the country, is this the democracy or imperialism? From the NSAS protest, the killing of innocent people and some imprisonment. What conspiracy of Buhari, Tinubu and so? Okay. Dio, thank you very much there. This is from Chief Akpagwa. He said, is it proper for Ndume to say the president is surrounded by kleptocrats and that it should be left by his party? Let your analysts have a rethink. Okay, thank you very much. Olu from Badagry says, I don't know why Nigerians are allowing politicians to use them to settle their own quarrel. Why is Ali Ndume when Nigerians are going through hardship, but suddenly now you realize because he's been denied to see the president? Selfish politicians. That's Olu from Badagry. Oof. Ralph from Satellite Town says, senators are being paid with our taxes and taxpayers' monies. When does criticizing the government you serve become a crime? See, let me give you a promise. Tomorrow, I'll try and come back to all of these messages that I won't be able to read today. And tomorrow, like I said, I'm just going to have a 30-minute conversation with my guest about, we have so many other issues to also, cross-fertilize the ideas about. It's a Friday, so why not? Why don't you just take some easy step and just reduce the tension? My name is OPEYEMI AKINYODE. Thank you to everyone that reached out, most especially to my guest, Mr. MUYIWA ADEYEMI, the chief political editor of Guardian newspaper. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow, but by 5:30 the full news will come through, and by 6 o'clock we'll be back for the Thursday edition of Sport Crew. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. Bye for now.